Hi, it's Miss Foltz, and we're going to be talking about the difference between short day and long day plants. So, this is in chapter 4 when we're talking about reproduction. Um, this will not cover the different parts of the plants, so I would encourage you to either look online or look in your book and make sure you've looked through the different structures, male and female reproductive structures. You can tell the difference between anthers and filaments and stamens and pistils and things like that. So what we're going to be talking about today is specifically when does a plant flower? Okay, so flowering plants can fall into one of two categories. You can either have short-term plants, short day plants, or long day plants. So short day plant is going to flower when the day is short and the night is long. A long day plant is going to flower when the day is long and the night is short. So basically, the long day plants are the ones that are flowering in and around summer, which is short day are going to be more like your spring or your fall plants in general. Okay. So you notice when I said short day, I said long night because one of the things that's really important is actually the length of time of night. So there's two chemicals we're going to be talking about today. There's photochrome red, which we're going to write as just PR, and then there's photochrome far red, which we're going to write as PFR. So during the day, photochrome red is going to be changed into photochrome far red. Okay, the sunlight that comes in is able to cause this to happen. Photochrome far red, though, is a high energy molecule. It's not very stable. So when the light is no longer there, it's going to go back into photochrome red, which is a more stable chemical. So that process is going to happen at night. And so the main thing that we need to remember is that to figure out when a plant is going to kind of flower, we're going to be looking at the amount of these two chemicals to figure out if flowering is happening. Okay, so let's use the example of a long day plant first. Okay, so I'm going to just say LD for long day plant. In a long day plant, a lot of photochrome red is going to be turned into photochrome far red. Remember, the day is really long, so I'm going to make a lot of that. Let's just draw like a little basket here. And let's say all day long I was putting into my basket photochrome far red. I'm building up that chemical inside the cells of the plant. Then at night, at the same rate, I'm going to delete some of these photochrome far reds, right? Because they're not stable. The plant doesn't want to keep them there. So those are going to go back to being photochrome red. Now the problem is, because the night is shorter, I have some left over. Not all of these molecules got turned back into photochrome red. They're left over. So what does that mean? Well, it just so happens in long day plants that photochrome far red acts as a stimulant. So what happens is that photochrome far red tells the plant, hey, I'm left over. Guess what? It's time to flower. Okay? So in long day plants, it is a stimulant. These are things like roses. Okay? Now in a short day plant, what's going to happen is the photochrome red is going to get turned into photochrome far red in the same kind of amount. Okay, so I'm going to have these little things of photochrome far red in here. But what's going to happen is because the day is short, I wasn't able to make as many. And because the night is long, I'm going to go through and the same thing, the photochrome far red is going to be transitioned back into photochrome red. But now notice all of them have been kind of transitioned back into this photochrome red. There's none left. Well, because the photochrome far red is gone, it's going to tell the plant to flower. Because in this case, instead of photochrome far red being a stimulant like it is in the long day plant, it's an inhibitor. Is that the plant is now going to start flowering because there's no longer far red. So it inhibits it. So once the day finally gets shorter, then it will flower. Okay. So in short day plants, this is what we have happening. Hopefully, this is a good review for you guys. There's always extra videos that you can look up, but hopefully, this is a good beginning so you understand the difference between short day and long day plants.